So our mission today is to unlock some of these secrets to reclaiming your time, to finally build a life where your energy goes to, the highest value things. And to do that, we have to start with this foundational idea they call the buyback principle.
It sounds really big, but the principle itself is surprisingly simple. It's never do tasks you can pay someone else to do at a lower hourly rate than the rate you want to make.
Okay, let's pause right there, because that one sentence is where I think most people get tripped up. They see outsourcing as like a luxury, but these sources frame it as an investment.
It's a crucial investment decision, and it forces you to know your ideal hourly rate. So if you want to make, say, $150 an hour, and you can pay someone $30 an hour to do a task.
That's not an expense.
No, it's a 5-to-1 return on your investment. That's the key. True freedom isn't about just having a huge income. It's about making these conscious trades.
You're intentionally handing off the stuff that drains you.
Exactly. The time, the energy, the focus. So you can put those reclaimed hours into your highest value activities, the things only you can do.
And as soon as you apply that simple math, your whole day just shifts. The sources give this perfect, almost painful example of the author trying to be the CEO, the salesperson, the accountant.
And even the janitor.
Right. And that mindset that you have to control every little thing is just a guarantee for burnout. It traps you.
It does. It traps you in these low-value loops, which brings us to the first real step you have to take. Ruthlessly identifying your time sucks.
We all have them. Those tasks that just eat up the day but don't really move the needle. Repetitive emails, calendar management, even running errands.
So once you know what needs to go, the fear kicks in. How do I delegate this without losing control or spending a ton of money?
And that's exactly why the material gives us this framework. It's called the replacement ladder.
It's all about making delegation strategic, not reckless. It gives you these 4 clear rungs to climb so you're not just jumping in the deep end.
You start small, right, to build confidence.
Exactly. The first rung is all about low-value personal tasks.
So like cleaning the house, laundry, grocery shopping.
Yep. Things that take up your personal hours but don't require your specific skills. The goal is just to free up that mental space.
And once you're good there, rung 2 is the big one.
It's the big shift. Low-value work tasks. This is your admin, your operational stuff.
Data entry, scheduling meetings.
Expense reports, all of it. And this is where most entrepreneurs really get stuck. Because handing over your professional life, it just feels so much riskier than handing over your laundry.
That's a great point. Why is that specific jump so hard for people?
I think for a lot of founders, their identity is just so tied up in doing the work. If they're not in every email chain, they feel like they aren't essential.
But climbing that rung is what actually frees you up to be essential in other ways.
That's it. This is where you bring in a virtual assistant or you automate processes.
Then you hit the third rung, specialized expertise tasks.
Right. And this isn't about stuff you could do. It's about stuff you shouldn't do, because a specialist can do it better and faster.
Accounting, legal work, some really specific marketing.
You're buying expertise there, not just time. And that leads to the final leap, which is crucial for scaling anything.
Managerial and leadership delegation.
This is the big one. Empowering your team to make real decisions, to run entire departments without you looking over their shoulder every day. That's how you build something that can last.
And just to zoom out for you, listening. Every single hour you get back by climbing that ladder is a direct investment in your future.
So once you have that foundation for delegation, you need like a daily filter for every request that comes your way. And that's where the DRIP matrix comes in.
Okay, the DIP matrix. It's a quick decision tool, right?
Yeah, it's a quick fire tool. It helps you categorize any task based on 2 things. Its value to your goals and the energy it requires from you. It forces you to be intentional instead of just letting your to-do list run your day.
So let's break down the acronym. D is for.
D is for do it. These are your non-negotiables. High-value, high-impact tasks that only you can really do.
Closing a huge deal, creating your business vision.
Exactly. Stuff that deserves your full protected focus.
Then R is for replace it.
And that's where the buyback principle lives day to day. These are tasks that have to get done, but they don't need your personal touch. Prime candidates for delegation or automation.
Got it. Then I is for ignore it. That one sounds a little harsh.
It does, but it might be the most freeing part of this whole thing. It's for the tasks that don't generate results. Unnecessary meetings, random commitments.
This is where you practice saying no.
A firm but polite no. If it doesn't get you closer to your goals, you just have to starve it of your attention.
But wait, how do you square ignore it with something like, say, networking? That can feel like a distraction sometimes, but it's important long term.
That's a great question. The sources are pretty clear that it doesn't mean ignore everything. It means ignore the clutter. If a networking event is high value for your strategy, maybe it's a do it. But if it's a committee meeting that goes nowhere for 2 hours.
That's definite ignore it. Okay, that makes sense.
Right. And finally, P is for procrastinate.
So this is for tasks that aren't urgent or important right now.
Yeah, but they might need to be done later. You just park them somewhere, like a parking lot list, so they don't clog up your focus on the do-it items.
Using a matrix like this really starts to uncover the deeper patterns, doesn't it? Which brings us to what the sources call the 5-time assassins.
These are the forces that are silently sabotaging you. And assassin number 1 is probably the toughest because it's so tied to our sense of obligation.
The inability to say no.
Exactly. When you say yes out of guilt or FOMO, you end up with a calendar that serves everyone's priorities but your own.
Leads to burnout, resentment, a total mess.
For sure. Then assassin number 2 is procrastination.
But it's framed differently here. It's not just laziness.
No, it's a symptom.
Yeah.
Often it's rooted in fear. Fear of failure, perfectionism, or just avoiding something that feels really uncomfortable. You have to get to that root cause.
Okay, then the third one, the silent killer, context switching.
I love the analogy they use. Your brain is like a computer with limited RAM. Every time you jump from a spreadsheet to an email to a phone call.
You're forcing it to reboot and reload all the information.
And the cost is huge. The materials suggest you can lose up to 40% of your productivity just from that cycling. 40%.
Wow.
So you have to guard your focus. Really guard it.
And assassin number 4 is poor delegation. This goes right back to that belief.
No one can do it as well as I can.
The ultimate self-sabotage. It just keeps you trapped doing low-value work.
And I think we need to hit that fear head on. What do you do if you're worried about the quality dropping when you delegate?
The answer is you have to accept that it might. Effective delegation means accepting an outcome might be, say, 80% as good as you could do it, at least at first.
And the trade-off is worth it.
The time you save, the hours you get back to focus on your most important work, that's worth the 20% dip on a lower valued task.
And the last assassin, maybe the most insidious, is leaking energy.
This isn't just about being tired.
Not at all. It's the mental and emotional drain. Unresolved issues, toxic relationships, not taking care of yourself, sleep, exercise. You can't use your time well if you have no fuel in the tank.
So once you defeat these assassins, you can finally focus on what the sources call the 3 trades that really matter.
Right. And this is where we see that time really is the ultimate currency. Trade number 1, we've talked about it, money for time. That's the buyback principle. You pay people to handle the low-value stuff. It requires that mindset shift where you realize your time is worth more than the money you're spending.
Then trade number 2 is time for money.
This is about what you do with those hours you bought back. You invest them in your zone of genius, the things you're great at and passionate about that drive real impact.
You're multiplying the value of your time.
Exactly, which sets you up for the final trade, which is all about wealth creation. Money for money.
This is moving beyond just earning a paycheck.
Right. This is leveraging your financial resources to create passive wealth, setting up systems and assets that make money without your constant involvement.
Can you give us a concrete example of that? It feels a little abstract.
Absolutely. We're talking about cash flow assets. So maybe it's an index fund that grows and pays dividends.
Yeah.
Or it could be a small rental property that brings in revenue every month with minimal work. It's wealth that isn't tied to your personal time.
These trades sound great, but you can't really do them at scale without, well, scaling yourself. Which brings us to the idea of cloning yourself through playbooks.
A playbook is more than just a checklist. It's a blueprint for a repeatable process. It's how you transfer your knowledge so that your team can get consistent results without you having to be there.
It's how you scale your impact without scaling your hours.
That's it. And the sources are really specific about what makes a good playbook.
Yeah, I noticed that. What are the key parts?
Well, it has to have a crystal clear objective, the why behind the task, then simple step-by-step instructions. And this is critical. Clear key metrics and benchmarks.
So the person knows exactly what success looks like.
And how will be measured. And a great playbook also anticipates common pitfalls and solutions. This empowers them to solve problems on their own so they're not coming to you for every little thing.
And finally, clear ownership and accountability.
No ambiguity. Everyone knows who is responsible for the outcome.
So this is all about shifting from being reactive to being proactive. Once you have this stuff in place, you can actually design your perfect week.
Yes. This is about aligning what you do every day with your big picture goals. And the main strategy here is time blocking.
Scheduling protected blocks for your non-negotiables.
Deep work, strategic thinking, family, health. You treat those blocks as sacred.
And it's not just about time, it's about your energy. You have to prioritize energy, not just time.
Right. You do your most demanding work when you're at your peak. If you're a morning person, that's when you do your deep creative work.
You also have to build in some wiggle room.
You have to. Include space for flexibility. Your perfect week isn't a rigid cage. You need buffer time to handle the unexpected without derailing everything.
And finally, the thing everyone skips. Schedule rest and recovery.
It's a necessity, not a luxury. Burnout doesn't create better results.
So as you build this new life, you'll need to grow your team. And the sources talk about this really interesting hiring tool.
The test-first hiring method.
It completely flips the script on traditional interviews,
Yeah.
right? Instead of just relying on a resume and how well someone talks, you give them a real short-term project.
A paid task that mirrors the actual work. For a marketer, maybe they draft a campaign. For an admin, they organize a complex, simulated schedule.
And the benefits seem huge. It eliminates the guesswork because you see their skills in action.
It clarifies cultural fit because you see how they solve problems, and it dramatically reduces the cost and risk of making a bad hire.
You test them before you commit.
Exactly. And mastering all these things, the buyback principle, the DRP matrix, playbooks, this is what turns you from a tactical leader into a strategic leader.
A tactical leader is stuck in the day-to-day weeds.
Right. A strategic leader is focused on the vision, on empowering their team, and building a culture that runs itself. That's real freedom.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener, right now? It means control over your life doesn't come from working harder. It comes from being intentional and strategic with your time and money.
The core message here is that knowledge is only valuable when you actually apply it.
Okay, so let's wrap this up with the 4 most immediate, actionable things you can do today to start buying back your time straight from the source material. Number 1, eliminate the busy work. Look at your to-do list right now. Find 3 tasks that are ignore its items and just get rid of them.
Yeah.
Delegate them or just stop doing them.
Number 2, use time chunking. Group your most important tasks together into one protected, uninterrupted block of time. No notifications. Guard that time.
Number 3, implement the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, just do it immediately. Don't let that mental clutter build up.
And number 4, implement systems and automate. Pick one repetitive thing you did this week and start building a simple playbook for it. Or find a piece of software that can do it for you.
That's it. That's your blueprint for designing a life on your own terms. A life built on freedom and growth, not stress. Now go take control of your calendar and start buying back your life.